and welcome to Wolff&Schafe podcast. My name is Magdalena Wolff and this is my little co-host Domarat. Meow. This is episode number 8. I had to check. We have Wednesday, March the 2nd of 2016. Welcome to everybody. If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. I'm very happy that you decided to watch me again. And if you're a new viewer, please feel at home here. This is a knitting, spinning and hand dyeing podcast. I'm a Polish girl, lady, I think lady already, living in Switzerland, but currently I'm on a long visit at my parents' place in Warsaw in Poland. So, let's remind you or tell you, if you're a new viewer, that we have Ravelry group and a forum there where you can see the when I update, and you can introduce yourself and chat with other viewers. Sorry, my English is funny sometimes. And yes, we have also a knit along going on. It's Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones themed knit along, and I forgot the prize to show you, but the prize is a skein of my hand-dyed yarn in Game of Thrones inspired colorway, Melisandre. And I set the deadline till the end of March, but if it turns out that some more people are willing to participate, because we are in need of more participants, then I can prolong and we can finish late, set the deadline for a later date. So please feel free to join. I have posted some patterns as examples in the thread. I have posted examples of patterns you could use, but just any pattern inspired by the books or the TV show is perfectly fine. I myself am knitting Melisandre socks by Pearlescent. And yes, my name on Ravelry is Wolfowna, which spells WOLFFOWNA. And just recently I created an account also on Instagram, and there you can find me under my full name, Magdalena Wolff with double F. Everything will be in the show notes or at the end of the episode. So as I mentioned last week, I'm going to Edinburgh for the Edding Yarn Fest 2016. I'm extremely excited. It will be my first yarn festival that I'm actually going somewhere and staying there, because I've been to one festival in Zug in Switzerland, but it was quite close to our place, so we just drove there and back. So yes, if any of you is going there, please let me know. We could meet there and chat in person. That would be awesome. And so it will be a big event, I think, because it starts on Thursday, March 17th, and it ends on Saturday, March 19th. And I'm going from Thursday. I arrive on a Thursday and then I come back on Sunday. There is to be a kick-off knitting party on Thursday afternoon and evening, so that we can meet, chat together and knit together. I think it's just awesome. And on Friday there is to be a Scottish evening, and there were like two options you could buy tickets for. One option was with dinner, and the other was just the event with Scottish traditional dancing. But I must tell you, I won't go there because there are no tickets left. The tickets for the dinner option disappeared like in 5 minutes, and tickets for the event itself in like 24 hours. So I decided I will have to compensate and just buy more things on the festival for myself. I just have to. I just have to. Right? Right. So yeah, that is it. And other announcements. I was showing my test knit for Kristen from Woolen Vine Yarns and Yarngasm podcast, Wildes Meer. It just appeared yesterday as she is scheduled for March the 1st. So it's available, you can buy it. And I just will remind you, this shawl. It's gorgeous. It's awesome. It's beautiful. And camera, please focus. Yes, it has instructions for adding beads. This was my first project with beads. And yes, it's available. Awesome. Awesome. And by the way, this is on my hand-dyed yarn in Vodnik colorway on Medina base, which is 100% superwash Woolworth, which means it's not as buttery soft as merino, but it's more sturdy. And some people prefer this feel to merino, because some people just call it like like merino is too. It lacks structure for them. And I like this, and because it's more sturdy, it means it will last longer, simply. So yay! And I must tell you, because I've seen already like the finished pattern, I mean a finished pattern, like the file, with all the details added and pictures and everything, and it looks totally awesome. I must tell you, it's not just the pattern, it's just, well, a little piece of art. It's so pretty. Kristen added wonderful pictures of sea creatures, because it's Wildes Meer means wild sea. It's in German, and so it's sea inspired. Kristen herself loves the sea and sea creatures, and they appear there throughout the pattern, and everything is so elegant. And well, yeah, and the pattern itself is awesome. It's entertaining, but not very difficult on the same time. So I have highly recommend it, and please check it out, definitely. And I closed my show notes, God knows why. Okay, so I have, actually it's too warm for the shawl for me. So I have a finished object to show you. Yay! I have finished the Melisandre socks. Yay, they are done. And I must tell you, they feel very soft. And I tried them on to see how it all looks like, and also to measure the length of the cuff. And they feel great on your foot. And yeah, you can see the pattern here. Here it's just the ribbing. Here it's I made it. I finished it with Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast off, because it goes quite like it reaches the calf. Like it goes to. It needed to be a bit wider, so I knitted more loosely here, and of course Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast off, because it's awful when you knit the whole sock and at the end you cast off with some technique that is not stretchy enough, and then the sock is not wearable. This is this is just awful. So yes, this is it. The yarn is Lang Yarns, Jawohl Magic, and it's a gradient yarn, as you can see. Maybe I should open it like this to show you better. And yes, the pattern is, as I said, is by Pearlescent, and it has charts. And it's free on Ravelry. So yay! I have showed them to you so I can send them to Japan to my friend Milica, who I'm sure of it will be very happy to get them. Okay. My only concern here, as I said before, is that even though it's specifically sock yarn, it's wool with nylon, it's still a single ply. So that's why it's so soft, but on the other hand, well, it will felt, I'm afraid. But the colorway is really gorgeous, so well. So this is my finished object, and my other project you've seen last week, if you've seen last episode. This is still my sweater, Mira by Justyna Lorkowska, who will be on Edin Yarn Fest. We will be meeting there. Yoo-hoo! It's great. Excuse me. So it's grown a bit, but not that much. It's my first sweater from non-worsted. Oh no, actually one was from DK, but this is fingering weight yarn. So this is the thinnest yarn I've ever used for a sweater. So I have a feeling it will take me ages. And it would be actually lovely to finish it by the festival. I don't think it's gonna happen, really. It's taking quite a while, but anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. It's like the yoke here is very wide, but it's still supposed to in the pattern I will be knitting some ribbing here, so it will be not as wide, but still I'm not used to that wide of a yoke. We will see. I hope it won't be too big for me, because it wouldn't be good, would it? Okay, no losing stitches, and here I have my cute stitch markers that I made. This is my, oh come on, oh come on. This is my pirate stitch marker with Toho bead, with this lovely, oh come on camera, yay, with this bead that changes color depending on the angle from which you're looking at it. So it can be green, it can be purple. It's really awesome, I think. And I really like my simple rings with beads as well. So yay! I'm working on this, and I have reached a moment that I don't have to check the pattern anymore because it's just going in the rounds in the bee stitch pattern, which is of course slower than stockinette stitch, so that is also why it takes longer to knit, but I think it's quite awesome. And it will be a bit lacy, but at the same time bee stitch makes you like a double layer of stitches, so it's interesting. And yeah, and I have learned to understand, even if I lost count, I can already tell where I should do knit one and where knit one below, so it will create the pea stitch shape. Because before I was like, oh, I in the like, because I have ripped this back once, so back then I had problems with being able to know where whether it will be like this aligned or not. It should be like going like this, but sometimes it happened, it went like this, so it was not in the pattern, and yeah, I was having problem with that, but by now I can totally tell when I should do what. And the yarn is oh, come on. Yeah, it's weird. I'm recently knitting from singles, and well, while with these, it's actually an accident because I bought this yarn ages ago, literally ages. Excuse me. So I didn't know that much about yarn back then. I just loved the colorway, and I thought, oh, this will be great for the Melisandre socks for Milica, and that's why I didn't actually know. But this one is Malabrigo Makita in Sirena's colorway. It has lovely teals and blues and greens, some shades of purple too. It's really lovely and soft, and of course, as this is a single, the probability of felting is high. So it's possible it's my last time knitting from single plied yarn. That shawl there, it's Buccaneers shawl by Justyna Lorkowska as well. I used single ply yarn, but for a shawl it's different because the amount of rubbing you have with the shawl is much lower than with socks or a sweater. So we will see, we will see. Okay, and that's it for knitting today. I will have a sip of tea. Today it's black tea with it's a mixture called Danzig tea. Danzig is English, and of course it's borrowed from German, name for a Polish city of Gdańsk, and which is a harbor at Baltic Sea, and it's I don't remember exactly what's inside, but it definitely has some vanilla and nuts feel to it. So it's black tea with vanilla and nuts. Very tasty. Oh yes. So spinning. I have finished the first skein of my eventide English wool blend from Wildcraft. It looks like this. It's more purple than it looks on the camera, And as I said, while spinning, I could see some, like on the darkest parts of the fiber, I could see some of the dye staying on my fingers. And when I soaked the yarn, when it was applied to finish it, I soaked it, and like the excess dye left the fiber. Back then, I had a feeling that the dye went over the lighter parts of the yarn, but now I'm not so sure. I don't know, because it's hard to tell really, because when it's just the fiber, it looks different than when it's yarn in a skein. So I don't know, but yeah, I wish it would be a bit brighter than it is, the yellow strands. But other than that, it's very nice. I like it, and I think it's something around 20-25 grams, because I still don't have my scale, so I cannot tell for sure, but it's something around that. And what I'm spinning right now is yeah, so I can't tell you exactly what I am spinning. I know that it is some kind of Polish sheep, because I got this fiber when I ordered my Wolff&Schafe PL spindle, that beautiful one with the lacy whorl. So the owner of the shop, the creator of the spindle, she uses fiber for packing. Like she puts it into bubble foil as well, but to protect it more, she adds just fiber around, and everything is from Polish sheep. So I don't know exactly which sheep this is. It is really dark brown. You probably can see it on the camera, but it is like dark chocolate, not milk chocolate, but very, very a lot of cocoa percentage chocolate, and it's different to anything I have spun thus far. It's not like I'm very experienced, but as I said before, for me it's great that I can actually try different types of fiber, so I can like broaden my spinning experience. And this one is closest to human hair I have ever spun. It will be scratchy, I can tell. Like, but it is actually really nice to spin. It's not like it's hurting your fingers. No, no, no. It's just different, and it will be scratchy. So I'm already thinking to ply it with some softer fiber to make it less scratchy, which I did before with my gray, I always forget, Ryland. So we will see. I have still some more. Like I have this and another ball this size, so I think I will finish at least this, and then I will start on something softer and ply them together, so it will be bearable. But I still haven't abandoned my hands, like Cozy Memories blanket knitted from my handspun skeins. So if it's on a blanket, it will be bearable, I think. So yes, it's very interesting. The hairs are really different. They're not curling. They're pretty straight, and it's quite easy to spin, really. So this is this, and oh yeah, we can proceed to dyeing. So I will just put together spinning and dyeing right now, because I have dyed my handspun. Maybe you remember, some of you, I have spun Romney wool that I got from, I think, from Wildcraft. Yes, I got it together with my green wooden spindle. It was a beginner set, so, and I still have more of this fiber. But I spun this skein, and just recently I decided, because I was not sure whether I want to dye it or not, and in the end I decided I will. I think that all the shades are not very visible here, but I think you can see these are like dark blue with some shades of purple, like very delicate shifts of color. And oh, maybe from this side. The light is not very serving its purpose. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with this, but probably next time I will choose a brighter color, because it's really tuned down, very muted, and this is also quite dark, so they don't play together that well. I have that turquoise one, so maybe with that one it will look nice. But anyway, my collection of handspun skeins is growing. And when I'm done with my bigger projects, maybe I will start with my Cozy Memories blanket. But right now, as you see, I have my Mira sweater, and I should actually be starting with my Rombai sweater for Iga, and I also still have to make the second glove of Mystery Plus Manners by Spilly Jane. So I have quite a lot of going on, and I also want to cast on new socks, because I finished socks and I want more socks. So yes, oh, it's almost half an hour now, so I think I will pause, because sometimes I have problems with the audio matching video, and I don't know why it happens to me, because I have changed the computer, the camera, the program I'm using for recording, and I still have that problem. I don't know whether my voice is so slow in moving through space or what, but I think it will be more easily avoided if I stop now and like make two shorter files. So pause, and you will see me in a second. And we're back. So yeah, I don't have really much more to tell you about. We were in the dyeing section, so I will just show you. I have recently dyed up some iris. Again, I love this colorway. It's so happy. It's so happy on the camera. If it's of course muted but yeah, it's quite bright purples, and you can see, because I do this with various techniques. One of them being like glazing. So first I expose this the yarn to one layer of the dye, and then when it's absorbed, when the water is clear, I add another one, and this creates these lovely tonal changes. So it's yellow glazed over with purple, and I like it a lot. Oh, on this one you can see also the green, because it's iris also with the leaves. So I have these two. They are on my paw base, like paw for a wolf paw, which is sock base. It's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. And yeah, because I think socks look great made from such like variegated yarn, and that they are fun to knit. And my other things are rose petals. They are back. I missed them because you know what? I accidentally wrote down the formula for instead of one skein, I doubled it. Because normally I dye 2 skeins in one pot together. So I had proportions for 2 skeins instead of 1 written down, and that's how my Crocus Frenzy colorway appeared all of a sudden. And I was like, what? And I wanted to have subtle colors. I mean, the Crocus Frenzy is also beautiful. It's so vivid and rich, but that's not what I was going for. So yeah, so I just took the formula and divided it in 2 to see whether that was the case of my mistake. I just changed it, and yeah, and the rose petals are back. I love them. They are so subtle, and they're actually more pink than it's on the camera. So yay! If you want to, you can see them in my shop. They have like better photos with better lighting and probably better camera than I have for the video camera. And sorry for my voice changing. Some of you know that I've been ill last week, and I still have some issues. But one last section I wanted to add today, because last week I talked about a book that I'm reading, and some of you responded to that. So because I'm totally a bookworm, well, I used to be, at least before I restarted knitting, because now I'm reading much less. Truth be told, I'm reading much less than I used to, but I still completely love books, and I love talking about books. So, a sip of Danzig tea. Some of you may know this already, but I really love this book by Lynn Floeling, Luck in the Shadows. And actually, I read it when I was in high school. I borrowed the book. It was published in Poland. I borrowed this book from a colleague, and I totally loved it. It was awesome. It's just a great adventure story, fantasy adventure story, and this is the second volume, and they create one story together. So it's good to have them both. Stalking Darkness. And they are great. Also, this was, when was it published? I'm not sure. But already some time ago, if I read it in Polish while I was in high school. So it's possible it's some 20 years ago or something. I mean, the original. What is special about it is also there appears gay couple. A gay couple appears here. I mean, gay couple. A gay love is one of the topics here. So, and it's not something like in your face, and it's like the main topic or whatnot. It just appears there, is there, and for those times it was not so common, I think. So that's also interesting. But what I love about it, it has sense of humor. It's like the plot is well thought through, and it's just fun. It's adventure fantasy. I won't like tell you it's something very deep. It's just you can have some fun. But I must tell you also that because it's a whole series and the author is still writing some of it, I can recommend these two. These are good. But then, this is the third one, Traitor's Moon, and it's still good. It's okay. But then this comes. I was so disappointed. Shadow's Return. I think it's been some years between these two, and the level of this is just, at least in my eyes, it's really, I don't know. I just got so disappointed that there's nothing happening here. It's just book about nothing and some disgusting stuff. So I was very disappointed because I was totally in love with these two books, because it has like characters that you can likable characters, and it's fun and interesting and everything. But then this, oh my god, like I really like when the author puts some thought into constructing the novel, the construction of the novel, and here is just, it's boring. So there are new books in the series, but I just didn't buy them because I got so disappointed. Maybe they got better. Maybe this was just a temporary slump. But I do not recommend this. These three first, I recommend them, especially these two, and they create like one story together. Okay, so that was my Lynn Flueling rant. Oh, she wrote also some other series which are interesting. It was quite interesting to read. What was that? The Bone Doll's Twin, I believe. It was. Where is the series? Oh, I think it's here. It might be here. Oh yes, so it's called the Tamir Triad. It's Bone Doll's Twin, Hidden Warrior, and the Oracle's Queen. It's about different characters, different story, but it's pretty interesting. I think it's not as good as these, but it's still a fun read. So I also recommend this. I just don't recommend this. And there was also a collection of short stories about these characters. Right now I don't remember the title, but it's also quite crappy. It's really so I don't recommend that. And that was a lot of talking. On Friday, my husband is coming back from his business trip from the States, and he's bringing me some goodies that I ordered from American fiber artists. So I will have something to show you next week, and I can't wait. Of course, I can't wait for him to be back too, but he will be back only for the weekend, and he will be going back to Switzerland, and I will be joining him on March 11th. So I will be finally back to Switzerland, because I have been here for a long time for some family reasons. And yes, I think, well, it's good to be here. This is the house where I grew up, actually. And but yeah, it's nice to be home. And right now my home is there in Switzerland, so it's just my own place. What I wanted to say is I will be here again for Easter. So, but only for a few days, really. And then I will return to Switzerland. But anyway, whether I'm here or there, I will always try to record new episodes for you. So thank you for watching. I think it was enough of that bladder on my side. So happy knitting. Whoops. So yes, happy knitting. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Meow.